So hi guys, I'm Lucy, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I'll be talking about my spring and summer TBR. So I believe we're probably towards the end of spring now. I'm really excited about this time of year. I'm never usually a spring summer person. I'm usually an autumn girl through and through. But this year I'm just ready for some sun, some reading times, like some light-hearted reading. I cannot wait. So I have amazing books to show you today that I'm really excited to read this spring and summer, and I can't wait to share them. So let's get cracking with the video. So the first book I really want to read this spring and summer is Twin Crowns by Catherine Webber and Catherine Doyle. So this is a new release. This came out at the beginning of April, and this is about two sisters who were separated at birth, one of whom is the princess to a kingdom, the other is kind of a magic user, I believe, and kind of a more kind of darker figure, let's just say. And it basically involves a power struggle between these two queens, and basically kind of explores who's gonna kind of come out on top, I believe. So I'm really excited about this book. I think it sounds phenomenal, and also I already adore the works of Catherine Webber and Catherine Doyle. They're two of my favorite like YA and fantasy authors, so hook me up to this basically. I've been seeing this everywhere, and how gorgeous is this proof? I mean, it's just so beautiful. So I cannot wait for this book. I think it's going to be a perfect spring summer read because it just seems like a lot of fun. I know there is a romance in this as well, and it's fantasy. What more can I say? So I'm really excited about Twin Crowns, and I will let you guys know my thoughts. The next book is a traditional fantasy book, I believe, and it is Daughter of the Forest by Juliette Marillier. So this is a very well-known fantasy book, I believe, and Juliette Marillier is one of the most like more classical fantasy writers, I believe. Like, this is quite an old book, and this is the start of the Seven Waters trilogy, I believe. Now let me read you the back, because like there's a lot to unpack here, but it all sounds so good. So it says, the keep at Seven Waters is a strange remote place, guarded by silent men who slip through the woodlands clothed in grey and keep their weapons sharp. Invaders roam outside, raiders from across the sea bent on destruction. But now there is also an invader inside the keep, the Lady Una, a sorceress as fair as day with a heart as black as night. Una captivates Lord Colum and his 6 sons, but she cannot enchant his daughter, Sorcia. Frustrated in her attempts to destroy the family, Una binds the brothers with a spell only Sorcia can lift. If she fails, they will die. When the raiders break through, Sorcia is taken captive. Soon she will find herself torn between her duty to break the curse and a growing forbidden love for her captor. So this sounds so incredible. I also think it sounds like the perfect kind of very escapist, like spring summer read, which honestly I'm looking for this spring summer as well. Like, I just want things that are just gonna take me out of this world, and I feel like this is certainly going to do that. I have heard amazing things about this book already. I know it's a favourite of, for example, Jean's Thoughts. I think she loves this book. I think I actually heard about Juliette Marillier from her channel, so I'm already super excited to be reading this, and I will let you guys know my thoughts, maybe in a reading vlog. Let me know if you'd like something like that. Now the next book is another kind of escapist fantasy book, and it is Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. So I have read a little bit of this book, and for some reason I put it down and completely forgot about it. So I completely forgot I did that up until a few weeks ago, and then I was like, hang on, I need to finish off this series. And I thought I should probably just reread this book to refresh myself. So I am going to be reading Carry On and actually completing it this time. Not really sure what happened the last time, but I have heard amazing things about this book. This actually is... Now this is where it gets complicated. So in Rainbow Rowell's book Fangirl, the character Kath wrote fanfiction, and this is the fanfiction that Kath wrote. So I'm already super excited about how meta that is, and I think this is going to be epic. This is basically like Harry and Draco fanfiction essentially, and I'm buzzing about this book. So I'll let you guys know my thoughts, but I know that Carry On is such a kind of like older book now. A lot of people have read this book, love this series, and I just need to get on the hype train. It is an LGBT romance as well, so I'm super excited about this, and I think it's just going to be very escapist, very romantic, and I just can't believe I haven't read this book in full yet, so I'm going to correct that this summer and read some Carry On. Now this summer I'm also trying to get through a lot of the proof copies that I have been sent from publishers, one of which is These Hollow Vows by Lexi Ryan. So this was actually sent to me last year. This was published in July 2021, and I've just not gotten around to finishing this proof yet, so I really want to make this a priority this year. But this just sounds amazing, and let me tell you a little bit more about this. So this book is basically about a woman whose sister has been kind of held captive by the Fae King, so she must go to Fairy herself and rescue her. And to get into the Unseelie court, she basically has to pose as a bride of the Seelie prince, I believe, or is it a king? Prince Ronan. So she basically has to pretend to be his bride in order to go undercover, and they probably will fall in love, won't they? I mean, that's just something that is going to happen. So I already can't wait for this book. I love, love, love a fairy romance, and this sounds so, so perfect. I think this is like pure escapism for summer as well. I love reading fantasy books in summertime, and anything with a big dose of romance I'm on board for. So I can't believe I've not read this book yet, but I do intend to correct that this summer and catch up on all the reading I've been meaning to do this year. So this will be on my list as well. Now, the next book I really want to read is a historical fiction book. So this is The Wolfden by Elodie Harper. And this is basically a book examining the lives of women who've been overlooked in history, and is set in Pompeii in a brothel, I believe. And I've heard a lot of amazing things about this book that has just really made me want to read this. And I've heard great things about the author Elodie Harper as well. I think her second book is out now, so I'm really intrigued by that. And honestly, The Wolfden has been sitting on my shelf for a while. I do love historical fiction. I do love any form of like Roman or Greek retellings, or kind of inspired by those time periods. So I really do want to read this, and you wouldn't associate kind of like a darker historical fiction book with spring summer, but again, it's escapist. I can imagine myself like lying on the beach reading this, so that would be perfect, honestly. So fingers crossed I do get around to reading this summer. It has been on my bookshelves for a while, but do let me know if you've read The Wolfden and what you thought about it. The next book I really want to read this summer is a sequel, well, kind of a sequel. It's technically a prequel, but it is a prequel to the best-selling book We Were Liars, and this is Family of Liars, and this proof was kind of gifted to me from Hotkey Books. So this is basically about the parents, I believe, of the kids in We Were Liars. So if you've read that book, you know that it is a book of lots of secrets and a very, very dramatic plot twist, let's just say that. So Family of Liars is about the kind of like origin story, I guess, to all that. And honestly, this is super, super quick. I know it's going to be kind of a thriller-esque, because We Were Liars was kind of like that, where there's lots of deep secrets and a killer twist at the end. So I'm really excited to see if this book definitely delivers, because obviously it's in the same world as We Were Liars and about what happened before. So I'm really intrigued by this one. This is already out now, I believe. It's published on the 4th of May. So do let me know if you've read this book already. I cannot wait, because I really loved We Were Liars, and I think this is like the perfect summer reading, you know, like something quick, pacey, dark. I'm already on board for this. And then finally, the book that I think will be the book of my summer, maybe. I've heard so many good things about this book, and I can't believe I haven't read it yet. It is Sorrow and Bliss by Meg Mason. So this book has been everywhere, let's just say, like huge bestseller. It's done extremely well here in the UK, and I've just heard non-stop good things about this book, so I need to read it. I think it is going to be the perfect summer read as well. And this book is basically about a woman on the brink of 40 whose entire life falls apart. She has to move back home and basically pick up the pieces, and I think this is more of a character study, I believe. Like, the plot isn't the main focus. I think it's more about the discovery of this woman and learning to kind of love herself again and love her life again. So I'm really, really intrigued by this. I have heard it's really funny as well, so I think this is just going to be the perfect summer read, and honestly, I can't wait. Let me know if you have read this, because I know a lot of people loved it. And that is it for my spring summer TBR. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please do let me know down in the comments what's on your spring summer TBR. I really want to know, like, are you going more down the thriller vibe? Are you going more fantasy or romance? I want to know. There's quite an eclectic list here, I must say, but I think that's quite fun. Like, there'll be something quite different in my reading this spring and summer. So thank you again for watching, and I'll see you very soon in my next video, guys. Bye.